Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, we're going to look at the phrase carry on regardless. Carry on regardless is a phrase which we use to say continue despite the barriers. So, for example, if you tell your boss the computer system's very slow today, just so that you know, he might say, okay, just carry on regardless. It means just do it anyway. The same, perhaps, if you're waiting for information from a colleague before you can do your project, you can say, you know what, I'm just going to carry on regardless because there's no point in waiting. Last week, when I lost my voice, I carried on regardless. I just went ahead and made podcasts anyway, rather than worrying about my voice. That's carry on regardless. Carry on regardless also has a negative theme. For example, if there was an accident and some people just ignored it and walked past the car crash, deciding that it's someone else's problem, they're carrying on regardless. So I could say to my neighbors, oh, did you see that accident? And that man just carried on regardless, or he walked by regardless. It means that he continued doing his thing without worrying or stopping to see if he could help the situation. And unfortunately, here, many people do that. They carry on regardless, when perhaps just to stop and help someone who has a problem might be a better option. It's a little bit like those t-shirts which we see a lot of people wearing these days, which say, keep calm and carry on. This is a very popular kind of design of shirts here in the UK right now, and some people change the phrases. So yeah, keep calm and carry on regardless are phrases which are kind of similar. Carry on regardless is kind of an iconic phrase because it's also been the title of a movie and it's the title of a song. I don't remember when that song was around, but I'm sure you would know it if you heard it. Actually, there was a series of movies made called the Carry On movies as well. They're very funny. They were a big part of British culture between 1958 and 1992. If you get the chance to watch any of those, I think you might like them. They're all comedies, and especially the later ones were very amusing. The earlier ones were quite conservative, but the later ones, especially in the 70s and 80s, were in the tradition of seaside postcards, kind of very typical British humor. Maybe you could try to find those on social media. There were many of them covering a variety of situations. For example, let me see a few of the names here. Carry On Matron was one in a hospital. Carry On Camping, it's another good one. Carry On Doctor. Carry On Cleo, I think, was one which was based in Egypt. I think what was funny was that it was always the same actors, but they were in different scenes in each movie. And if you like typically British humor, you might enjoy these kind of things. if you've seen movies like The Life of Brian and those kind of things by Monty Python, it's the same kind of British humor, the same kind of thing, but a little bit more slapstick, more basic. But they they are very funny. So Carry On. So Carry On Regardless was actually a Carry On movie. I haven't seen that one. That one was from 1961, and it was the fifth in the series of the Carry On movies. There was 31 in total, and Carry On Regardless was about the activities of a job agency. And there's a little bit in there about language, so you might enjoy it. So just to recap, Carry On Regardless means in spite of everything, without any attention to drawbacks, just do it. Okay? And that instruction can come from somebody else, or it can be a decision you make. I'm just going to do this, I'm going to carry on regardless. Just like last week when I continued to work, even though my voice was not good, I carried on regardless. Okay? So this is the way we use it. Let me just give you a few more examples. Okay? That task seemed impossible, but we carried on regardless. And if you want to change that to another verb, you can do that. So you can say, for example, it was pouring with rain, but we waited for the bus regardless. She didn't like what the man was saying, but he plowed on regardless. To plow on just means to continue. Some people say plod on. The weather outside was too hot yesterday, but I can see that some people continued to work outside regardless. So it just means regardless of circumstances or regardless of the obstacles. Some motivational speakers tell us that with learning, we should just carry on regardless. Actually, I think that's really bad advice. I went to one of these motivational speeches the other day. It was some kind of conference. It was online. And the man was saying, to get good results, just write down your wish, what you want at the end of the day, and put it under your pillow. And then you wake up and you get what you want. And I'm thinking, that's really bad advice. Who are you? The language learning fairy? Life, unfortunately, is not so simple. You have to just go on and continue regardless. But actually, what he was trying to say, I think, although he didn't say it well, is you have to be open to other ways to motivate yourself. Don't just rely on you, the book, and the pen. Be open to having conversations beyond that. Oh, by the way, speaking of conversations beyond that, I went to the butcher's the other day and I bought some meat. And I said to the woman, can I have some chicken, please? And she said, sure. Would a kilo be okay for you? And I said, a kilo? What is that in pounds and ounces? And she said, I've no idea. It's just pre-packed chicken. So I can see it has 1 kilo in there. And I said, do you know how much a kilo is? She said, no, I'm really bad with the metric system. I said, yeah, so am I. I wonder what it is. So we both got our mobile phones out and we managed to convert a kilo into pounds and ounces. People here, we are kind of useless with the metric system, but we carry on regardless. The old people would have known exactly, I think, how to calculate the difference, but we needed our phones to do that. Anyway, we carry on regardless. During the next few days, I'm hoping to take you to a supermarket or to a shop so you can hear how people speak to each other. Maybe I'll try to order a drink in a coffee shop, or you can hear the self-scanners in the supermarket. You know, we have less and less people now. We have these machines where you have to scan your own shopping. They're called self-scanners. So maybe I can introduce you to those in the coming days and at least try to interact with some others so you can hear and I can describe the places to you. Anyway, that's it from me for today. So have a nice day. Carry on regardless, whatever you choose to do today. See you. Bye.